I'm Steph from Stitching with Steph. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be stitching our March week 4 cross stitch kit. I believe this may be our final one. I'll have to take a look at my calendar. I think we may have one more Sunday, but definitely it is week 4. If you're a subscriber, thank you for coming along and stitching week 4 with me on my March canvas. If you're not a subscriber and you like stitch alongs and you like hanging out with somebody while you grab your project and you stitch along with us, thank you for coming along this journey with us today. If you don't mind, go ahead and click that subscribe button. It helps me boost my videos to the algorithm and helps us create a little bit of a bigger little team that we have here and a little community we have of stitchers. Go ahead and click that bell notification so anytime that I load a new video, you get notification that one is loaded. I do load several times a week. And go ahead and leave me a comment if you like Stitch With Me videos. So thank you for coming along with this journey, and let's go ahead and dive into this Stitch With Me. All right, I already have my needle all threaded. As you can see from last week's Stitch With Me to this week's, I didn't get very much done. I was really focused on another project and didn't really put much work into this one. I did get some more of the M started, which is that black color, which is, let's see, we are doing number 1, 310, which is black. So we're going to continue on this week with doing this one here. So let's see what we have. I did start it. Yep, I did. So how did everyone's week go? As you can see, I didn't do very much. I just knocked out that little bit of M. So hopefully maybe in this Stitch With Me, I'll be able to get the A done. I feel like with our monthly projects, when you have them like this, you tend to let them go by the wayside when you get really interested in another project. My other one that I was really interested in this past week was my Korean folklore dancer. So I don't even know what week I'm on that one. I think I'm on week 2, maybe. I think I'm stitching it this week for week 2. But I was really intrigued on getting a lot of that project done. So this one I didn't do too much of, as you can see. Let me see what I have here. Oh, there we go. All right. So what did everyone do this past week? Anybody do anything fun? It was spring break for my kids, so we kind of hung out. Unfortunately, right as spring break started, 2 of my kids plus myself, we all started coming down with the cold. I kind of feel like maybe I'm catching one again, to be honest. I just feel like working night shift, my immune system is shot a little bit more than an average person's. So that kind of stinks, to be honest, but overall it's not too shabby. I do like working night shift. So we kind of stood inside because everyone had a cold. I'm not the one to contribute to the spreading of germs in the community, so I'm the type of person when my kids are sick, I keep them home. If I'm sick at work, I wear masks and make sure to take cold medicine. I don't like spreading stuff. I think maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a cultural thing because that's how my husband's culture is, and maybe it's a combination of me working in healthcare has something to do with it. I'm not sure. But, oops, wasn't supposed to go into that hole. I just feel like when you have an illness, if you can stay inside and stay away from people, I think it's just a common courtesy thing just to do it. You wouldn't want somebody getting you sick. Nobody likes being sick, so that's what we pretty much did. Nothing too extravagant. Did some spring cleaning while we were at it. Anybody else ready for springtime? Here in Colorado, spring is an interesting season for us. It can be nice and sunny and warm one day, and then next thing you know, it's snowing or windy and rainy or in the 40s. I feel like here in Colorado, our weather's just a little bit wonky. Does anybody do any gardening? I know I've mentioned before that I do gardening. But if anyone does gardening, what kind of stuff do you guys plant? I'll be prepping my garden. I do have some stuff that I put into my beds in the fall for this summer's harvest. But one thing that we like in our house is fresh homemade guac. So we grow everything for guac except for the avocados because, of course, we can't grow those here in Colorado, right? So we grow the purple onions, we grow white onions, we grow the tomatoes, we grow the jalapenos, we grow the cilantro. So we grow everything ourselves. I feel like the way things are going here in the US, I feel like a lot of people are going to start gardening this year. If not, I'll be kind of surprised. That means that they're not paying attention to what's going on. But I have a feeling a lot of people in my area are going to be growing gardens. Let's see, I'm going to go down because if you can see, there's an orange dot here, but I need to end up here so I can. I like doing full stitches, but in this instance, I'm not going to be able to. I'm going to have to do half up, half down. I might have to pause this video in the middle of filming it just because I have to go pick up one of my kids from school here shortly. And if that's the case, I'll just let you know and then pick back up where we left off. No big deal. The joys of filming, right? We can pick back up where we left off. Again, if you hear me clearing my throat a lot, I'm sorry. I'm coming down with another cold. I know it's not allergies because I took my allergy meds and I still feel a little blech today. And as you all know, I film all my videos on the same day, so I kind of do a recap of what my past week has done, what we've done, what my plans are for the upcoming week. Last week I had a paper due in ethics class, and I was a little bit arrogant in my paper, how long it was going to take me to do it. I remember I sat down on the weekend, and my husband's like, well, how long is it going to take you to do it, do you think? And I was like, I don't know, like maybe an hour, hour and a half. Nay, my friends, it took me almost 4 hours because my professor doesn't like you doing what he calls fluffing of the papers. So he wants you to write this paper was less than 900 words, and I was given a scenario, an ethical scenario of a situation, and then I was given 5 different types of like philosophical ethical beliefs. So like ethical egoism, Kantianism, virtuism, stuff like that, right? So I had to take this scenario and respond as if I was each of those individuals. So I had to write a paragraph based upon ethical egoism. I had to write a paragraph based upon W.D. Ross's philosophical beliefs, virtuisms. Like, it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be because my professor is looking for specific types of definitions. And so if you don't include those definitions in your paper, you get dinged points. And I am naturally an overachiever when it comes to school, unfortunately. So I had to include all of those and all that stuff. So it took me 4 hours. By the time I was done with it and proofread it and made sure my grammar, my punctuation, and all that stuff was correct. So, and you have to do really good on these essays because this class overall is only worth 109 points total. And we have 3 of those mini essays that are worth 20 points each. So you have to actually do really good on those essays. So my first one I did good on. This is my second one, and then I have one more at the end of the year. Our quizzes are only worth, I think, like 5 points. Let me think. We have 4 quizzes, so 100 plus attendance. So actually they're worth like 10 points each, if I remember correctly. And I do really good on my quizzes. I still overall have a 97% in the class, but I don't want that grade to drop because with nursing school, you have to have like really good grades and a good GPA to be able to get into the programs. So I'm an overachiever naturally, and unfortunately that stupid paper took me so long, but I know I'll get a good grade on it. It's a good paper and it was well written. I spoke eloquently in it and it covered all the topics according to the rubric. So that's how I spent one of my weekend days off. My daughter last week is officially a whole adult now. She laughs because she's like, I don't feel no different. I was like, you'll feel different when you have to start being an adult making your own decisions. But I'll be honest with you. Um, we're very nurturing parents, and anytime our kids have a problem, they come to us to get our feedback and guidance, which that's what my parents did with me. So I'm thankful for that. And my children have a good relationship with us. What do you guys do as parents if you're a parent? Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the camera. If you're a parent, how do you teach and guide your kids? I believe in trial and error within reason, as long as they're not going to hurt somebody else or themselves physically or mentally. I believe my children need to find out on their own. If they don't want to follow advice that's given to them, then so be it. They reserve that right. However, that's on them. And then when they come asking for help, you have to just reiterate to them, in my opinion, like, are you ready to listen? Are you ready to like actually apply the advice that I'm willing to give you? Again, that's how I was raised. My husband's parents were like very traditional Korean and very strict. He had to, they said to jump, he had to say how high. If they said you can't go into that career, my husband was kind of rebellious, to be honest. He did listen overall, but in certain things he would give pushback. Hence why we're married. But I think everyone has their own teaching and parenting style, and I think it's unique and it works for you, then hey, keep doing it. Unless it does harm to the child, keep doing it, boo. I think there's lots of ways to parent. There's one there's no one right way per se. Are there wrong ways to parent? Most definitely. Without a doubt, I will stick by that. There's no way that you can convince me otherwise. I've just seen it time and again in my career how different, like parenting styles have turned out. So, yeah. Does anybody have any plans for the summer? I know I don't. I'm taking 2 classes in the summer, so if we do anything, we'll probably just go up to a cabin in the mountains. Probably rent one for like a weekend or something, just like a little weekend getaway. Just so that way, just some fresh air. Oop. Feels like I got a knot somewhere. Yep. One of the downsides of stitching with black, you sometimes can't see these bad boys. It wouldn't be a true stitch with me with stitching with Steph if a knot was not done. I just happen to be one of those stitchers that tends to go a little too fast, and then this happens, unfortunately. And of course, black is one of the hardest ones for you to get the knot out of when it's small like this. And I only have literally what, two left on this before I can start on my R. Meh, go figure. It's okay. Worst case scenario is we just chop it off. That's true Stephanie fashion. If I can't get my knots out after a minute or so, I'm not going to waste several minutes on it. Okay, there it is. All right, friends. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. I'm going to get this knot out. All right, true Stephanie fashion. I just cut it out. This is what I have left extra of that thread. Not very long. So let's go ahead and rethread this needle and finish this A and get started on the R. I feel like when I forget about a project, because if I really showed you guys how many I have in the works, you guys would be like, no wonder why you don't get a lot done on one unless you focus on it. You would know why. All right, there we go. Okay. See, 2 whole whopping stitches is all I needed to finish that A, guys. It's like, really? Just to finish the A, that's all I needed? Was 2 little stitches, huh? Okay, let's run this under and finish this up. And this is how I finish. If you guys want to finish a different way, have at it. If you want to tie a knot, when I very first started, I used to tie knots in everything because I was terrified of it coming undone. And now I know better, but there you go. All right, so we're going to start up here, and then I'm just going to do half stitches all the way down just because the R is kind of weird. And then normally, like I said, I do full stitches, but on this section, you're going to have to do half stitches. Oh, and there's a prime example of your pin stitch not sticking. Because I wasn't paying attention. You want to go right in the middle. There you go. See how it's not in the middle? There we go. There. Okay. As you can see, there's different colors around it, so it's going to be like a shadowing effect. On this one here, I'm going to do a full stitch. Just so it's not in my way later. Sorry if I'm a little quiet. I'm concentrating so I don't mess any of these up. I'm just trying to make sure that they lay all properly. All right, there we go. See, when you do the half up, half down, your rows get done pretty fast. I just like my stitches laying. If you see, I like my stitches just laying pretty flat. So when I do a full stitch, I can pay attention to how flat it's laying. There we go. Now I'll go back to my full stitches. Sorry, I'm going to grab something to drink, friends. What's your drink of choice when you're stitching? Mine varies. Today I'm drinking cherry Pepsi. When it's cold out, I like tea or coffee. But today it's warm out. Let's see. What's the temp today? It says it's 65 degrees out today, which is nice. I do have all the windows open in the house, which I did get a new mic. So it's pretty noise canceling. It doesn't pick up a lot of noise outside unless it's pretty loud, which is nice. We might actually have enough thread with the other half that I cut off to finish this R for this week. The upcoming week, I think I work my 3.5 shifts, but my dingbat self for the following week, unintentionally, because I work at 2 different hospitals, so I accidentally scheduled myself 5 days between the 2. I was like, whoops. It's a good thing I don't have very much due for homework. I just got to focus on a couple of quizzes, some studying, and then I got to get all my YouTube videos done, which tends to be a task in itself, I feel like. Where is my needle threader? Sorry guys, I'm looking for my threader. I do not know what I did with it. Oh. It's under my scissors. I'm going to finish up right here. I know some people can do more with tails than this. I don't like to. I don't like making things complicated per se. So I'll finish this one full stitch and then end it on the back side. As you can see that little bit that's there? Hold on, right there. That's too little for me. So I don't like that. Who else holds their needles in their mouth? I do. Me. I'm doing it as we speak. I don't like setting them down because I have this ungodly fear of stepping on one. And then I have pets too, so I'm afraid of one of them getting them. So anytime I have a free needle, either it goes back in my canvas or it goes in one of my needle minders, my magnetic needle minders, or if it's just something really quick, I throw it in my mouth. This week I don't have any new starts. The only one that I'll consider as a new start is my One Piece anime one. But I've already worked on it, but it's a week one for you guys. That will be posted later on this week sometime. Not sure of my posting dates, to be honest. I just see how many videos I can get filmed, and then I kind of space them out so I try not to do back to back for you guys. And then I also have playlists for you. So if you just want to watch Stitch with Me's or do Stitch with Me so you have some background noise, I have that playlist. And then I have review playlists. At the end of March, I will have my very first floss tube going over all of my starts and if I finished anything and stuff like that. I think once I'm done with this R, I might be done with this Stitch with Me. Just because I don't want to thread a whole new thing of floss. That's a lot of work. I try to prep my thread before I start my Stitch with Me's. It just helps with the videos a little bit more. And do you guys really want to sit here and watch me thread a needle? It's bad enough you have to watch me thread it when I get knots or it comes undone or something along those lines. I'm sure you guys don't want to watch me start by flossing my needle. I don't even know if I'll have enough floss, to be honest. I might. Watch it be my luck. I get down to like the last two again and I don't have enough. Yep, see, look, I'm already. All right, I think that's going to be my last one. I think we might stop here, my friends. Okay, friends, that concludes this week's March Stitch with Me for week 4. I did end up leaving off on that R and still needing to finish the R. Next week, we'll be going into week 5. If I believe there's one more, I think, yes, one more week in the week of March for us. If you're a subscriber, thank you for sticking around and doing this stitch with me. I know some people don't stick to the end of the video. I appreciate you staying till the end. If you're not a subscriber and you stuck around this long, thank you for staying and watching and chit-chatting either to yourself or responding back to the video to me. If you like what you see and you like my Stitch with Me's and the content we cover or what we talk about, go ahead and click that subscribe button. It does help me get my videos out there over to the recommended and the for you. If you want to get alerts, go ahead and click on that little bell notification as I do post several times throughout the week. Go ahead and leave me a comment about questions you want answered or anything like that in my videos, and I'll try to answer them either in the comment section or I'll compile them into a video and answer them through my Stitch with Me's in future weeks. If you want to follow me on other social media platform, I do have a TikTok and an Instagram. My username over there is stitch_with_Steph. And at the end of this video, I do have a QR code. Again, thank you for sticking around and doing week 4 March's Stitch with me. I hope you guys have a great day and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.